My name's Sheila Amici Dargan, and I'm presenting this on behalf of the Erasmus, EAT Erasmus team. So this is a 3-year funded project where we are creating resources for the sector that we aim to share widely to support people to design assessments that promote self-regulated learning. So there's a funky looking QR code that I can't take credit for there, but if you want to scan that, you should be able to download a version of the Assessment for Self-Regulation report. What we're currently doing is chunkifying this report into more kind of one-page, easy-to-use resources for practitioners. So I'm not going to talk too much about the theory of self-regulation because I feel very out of my depth with that. I'm very much from the practitioner side. I teach animal biology in Bristol University, and I think there's a big gap between the theory and the actual application of that in practice, and that's really what this project is about. It's getting all of your great work into the masses and supporting everyday educators to actually promote self-regulation in their students. So the reason I'm interested in self-regulation is looking at our own assessments. I don't think they're as good as they could be at promoting the ability of students to use their time to the best effect, use the right strategies for specific tasks and use them effectively. And certainly in the sciences, we often have an issue around how do we support students to work with other students to actually draw on their strengths as well to support their own learning. We know this is really important in the real world, but we're not really kind of pushing that necessarily in practice. Self-regulation can be a construct or a process. So I'm not going to go into all of that, but we think self-regulation is really important. And we're working very closely with Carol Evans, so I expect a lot of you will know about the EAT framework, and really drawing on the principles of the EAT framework to assess how assessments can be used to promote self-regulation in students. So this report focuses very much on what self-regulation is and actually getting that message out to educators, how we can, as practitioners, create conditions that support self-regulated learning, and how we can support students to actually develop this at a high level that moves with them beyond higher education into their careers. And also how we can do this as an integrated approach. So there's lots of synthesis of the literature in there, and what we're trying to do now is kind of break this down into practical steps that people can use to put this in practice. There's also a compilation of 25 case studies of examples where people have done this very well. So that might be useful for yourselves or practitioners in your institutions to see examples of how assessments have been designed to promote self-regulation in different disciplines. So these are the resources we're currently creating at the moment. So there will eventually be a MOOC to train people in this and a website where people can download these resources. So invite us back next year and hopefully we can share those with you a bit more widely. And if you think there's anything missing on there that people would like within the sector, again, please do come and talk to us. We're very keen for everyone and anyone to get involved either in the project and creating these things, or for us to hopefully use some of our combined expertise to support people to do this in their own institutions. So, talking a bit to the converted here, but we really do believe that assessment should not be an audit of students' abilities, and it should be, assessments should be designed to promote self-regulation, both of staff and students, not just students. So this really leaves us with a few questions. How do we actually empower students in practice to participate as real co-creators and partners in assessment? How do we work to build staff confidence in designing self-regulatory assessments? How do we promote engagement through the way we design our assessments? And particularly importantly, how do we enhance our students' understanding of what it is to know and act within their own discipline and profession? So we're working quite proactively with students as partners to create student-facing resources as well, and we think this is very important to have this kind of co-ownership so that students can use these resources to empower themselves to become self-regulatory, so they're not completely dependent on the skills of their tutor. So again, there's the QR code. If you do want to download that, it's a free resource. You can read it on your way home or whatever you want to do with it. You can follow us on the various channels. This is work in progress, and again, if anyone's interested in getting involved, we want to make these resources useful to all disciplines and all institutions. So, thank you very much.